Which pickup truck has been the most successful? In the trucking industry, a wide range of manufacturers have long held a dominant position, from Ford to Nissen and Renault. But some models stand out from the endless array of options. Let's see some of the most forgotten pickup trucks that were once masterpieces. Number 7. The GMC Cabalero. The GMC Sprint, the company's take on the Chevrolet El Camino pickup, made its debut in 1971. For the 1978 model year, the Sprint was rebranded as the Cabalero, and it was manufactured up until 1987. The GMC Cabalero is a coupe utility vehicle, sometimes referred to as a car truck in casual speech. From 1978 until 1987, General Motors built it under the GMC brand, with the same base, body styles, and most parts. The GMC Cabalero is the GMC version of the Chevrolet El Camino. Similar to the El Camino, the Cabalero was built on the General Motors A-body and then G-body vehicle platforms. The Cabalero had a flat open bed that extended from behind the passenger compartment to the back, resembling a pickup truck, and extended from the front of the rear passenger compartment. The Cabalero was offered with a variety of V6 and V8 engines over its production run. Special paint jobs, decals, and occasionally extra equipment were included in the Amarillo and Loreto editions of the Cabalero. Among other trim levels and additions that GMC produced, production of the GMC Caballero lasted from 1978 up until 1987. Number 6. The Nissen Desert Runner. This Frontier Desert Runner off-road race truck was created by Nissen's Motorsports division in collaboration with MA Motorsport for SEMA. It has the same 5.6-liter V8 engine as the Titan, but with a 6-speed manual transmission and turbocharging. It can now generate 700 pound-feet of torque and 600 horsepower, high-clearance bumpers, BF Goodrich off-road tires, King triple bypass shocks, and a specially designed spare tire carrier in the bed are all elements of the Desert Runner off-road racer. With 16 years of continuous manufacturing and continued popularity, the 2020 Nissan Frontier is the oldest automobile available for purchase in the US. Throughout the years, Nissan's mid-sized truck has only ever been available as a production model with 4 or 6 cylinders. A V8 has never been offered. Nissen is equipping a fierce Frontier off-road vehicle with 8 cylinders and a 6-speed manual gearbox for the SEMA event. Since the Frontier Desert Runner is one of Nissan's 5 trim-level options for its mid-size pickup, we are familiar with it. This variant isn't the production model, which only comes with a 4-liter V6 engine. Number 5. The Studebacher Champ. Near the end of the 1950s, Studebacher was on a verge of going extinct, so it clung to its financial stability by creating new vehicles and trucks using the parts already in its parts bins. The cleverest example of this was the 1959 Lark. Designers began with the full-size Studebacher automobiles that were first released in 1953. They modified the body, removed 8 inches from the chassis, and added new fenders, quarter panels, a hood, and a standout grille. The end product was an entirely new-looking car that wasn't designed from the ground up. 1959 Larks were snapped up by individuals and fleet purchasers, helping Studebacher achieve its highest sales year in nearly a decade. The Lark demonstrated its adaptability by working effectively as a 2-door hardtop, 2-door station wagon, 4-door sedan, and 2-door sedan. Later on, a 4-door station wagon and a convertible would be offered. But how would the tough little car perform in a pickup role? Studebacher made the decision to, well, find out. Due to a lack of funding to create a completely new truck, Studebacher let the Lark take the lead. With a distinctive grille and bumper, South Bend used the front half of a Lark sedan body to build a pickup cab that surprisingly complemented Detroit's more aggressive style trend. The Lark stash inside gave the workaday hauler a refined touch. Number 4. Ford Courier. From 1972 up until 1982, the Ford Courier, a compact pickup truck, was offered for sale in the US and Canada. It is still made available in other countries, and it's regarded as the Ford Ranger's predecessor. Since 1952, numerous more Ford models have also been marketed under the Courier moniker. The tiny Toyota and Nissan/Datsun trucks unexpectedly gained favor among youthful consumers in the West, prompting Ford Motor Company to import and sell the Toyo Kogyo-made Courier. It had a sub-2-liter 4-cylinder engine, a 4-speed manual transmission, rear-wheel drive, and an amazing 1,400-pound load capacity given its size. It was also reasonably priced in comparison to the full-size trucks of the day. These features were shared with other mini pickups of the era. When it first released, a 1.8-liter overhead cam engine with 74 horsepower at 5,000 RPM and 92 foot-pounds of torque at 3,500 RPM was standard. There was a standard 4-speed manual transmission. Number 3. Sonoma GT. When the GMC Sonoma GT truck made its debut in 1992, it was available as a sport package that had the appearance of a Cyclone, but lacked the cost and capability of its fiercely competitive turbocharged predecessor. The Sonoma GT, which bears the moniker Poor Man's Cyclone, was a less expensive option than the Cyclone, which had an astonishing $27,465 price tag. Its base price was $16,770. Similar to the Cyclone, Sonoma GT was put together by GMC Truck and Production Automotive Services, or PAS, in Michigan, completed the last trim. Until the recently released 4.3-liter L35 V6 central port injection and automated 4L60 transmission used a rear-wheel drive configuration to ground the power. The Sonoma GT had 195 peak horsepower at 4,500 RPM and 260 pound-feet of torque at 3,600 RPM, but it did not have the turbo or AWD capability that the Cyclone had. GMC Truck wanted to give buyers a genuine sport package, even if the SGT didn't have the same power as the Cyclone, along with power brakes, a torsion bar setup with dual-stage leaf springs, and recalibrated Bilstein shocks. They all rode on BF Goodrich Comp TA tires. The Sonoma GT maintained its payload capacity and towing standards, so you could still drive it as a pickup truck. Number 2. Toyota T100. These days, Toyota trucks are extremely popular. Commuters, off-roaders, and overlanders have grown to love these bulletproof cars. Whether they're vintage or contemporary, from Land Cruisers to 4Runners, nonetheless, one 4x4 from Aichi has mostly gone unnoticed. Following several decades of producing little trucks such as Tacoma, Toyota took a risk by challenging the big three and long-running bestsellers like the Ford F-150. The Toyota T100 was the brand's first entry into the full-size truck segment, and it was sold from 1993 to 1998, perhaps 5/6 of the size. Actually, however, in true Toyota form, the business determined that truck purchasers were not in need of a large bulkhead or a V8. To improve fuel efficiency, the Japanese carmaker paired a smaller cab and V6 engine with a full-size 8-foot bed. The 1990s American truck market was unsatisfied. The T100 received no love. Toyota sold roughly 40,000 T100s in its greatest year. Full-size pickup sales in Detroit were nearly 20 times higher. And number 1, the Chevrolet S10 Electric. The world abruptly altered in 2008 when Tesla unveiled its first electric automobile. Individuals who had previously been driving sedans with internal combustion engines either sold or traded in their vehicles and hurried to acquire the new vehicle that would alter the course of history. But naturally, there was a straightforward Chevy S10 that was forgotten about more than 10 years before the first Tesla vehicle was made available for purchase by the general public. This Chevy pickup was the first electric truck ever made, and it contributed to the global movement, encouraging people to minimize the carbon emissions that internal combustion engine vehicles emit into the atmosphere. And that's all for today. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. Also, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to receive notifications. And do express your variable thoughts in the comments section below. Also, spend some time watching other videos on the channel. Until next time, bye!